Tommy Robinson, the British patriot and activist against Islamization in Britain for over a decade, the man who has had many controversies surrounding him over the years, been labeled a far-right and fascist activist, and many, many other things, he has landed now in Israel to do a series of interviews and documentaries from over here in the Holy Land. And in honor of that, let's look back at one of his most famous clips from who else? Piers Morgan, talking about the Quran, the holy book of the Muslims. Let's take a look at what happened in that interview.
Would you have a ban, like Donald Trump suggested in America, would you have a ban on Muslims entering the country, new Muslims trying to have a home in this country?
I believe we need to protect the British public right now.
So what's the answer to the question?
British Muslims?
Yeah, we need, the British public. I didn't say British non-Muslim public. Right. I said the British public. We've had
so would you ban?
We've had
Tommy, you're a straight talker.
Children are being killed.
Yes, we all know what's been happening.
Yes, I would. I would stop.
You would ban all Muslims.
I would temporarily halt Muslim immigration to this country until we get a grip of the problem. I differentiate Muslims from Islam.
Right.
Okay?
But what you don't do.
Differentiate Muslims.
Muslims are people. Islam is an idea.
Yeah.
Islam's an idea. A bad idea.
And
Islam is a faith.
No, it's an idea.
It's a faith.
It's an idea that you can change your mind.
No, it's a faith. Like Christianity.
Like Scientology.
It's like all faiths.
Like
it's a religion, it's a faith.
Like Scientology.
So, Tommy, if you accept,
it's an ideology.
if you're saying that the problem is with Islam, are you accepting that you're Islamophobic?
Because there are 100 verses in this...
Yes or no?
Okay.
Are you Islamophobic?
There's no such word as Islamophobia. Phobia is an irrational fear. It's not irrational to fear these things. Now, if I hold this book up and say, there will never be peace on this earth so long as we have this book, it's a violent and cursed book.
Can
I tell you who said that? Can I tell you who said that? Sir William Gladstone said that.
You wouldn't do that with...
Sir William Gladstone
would you do that with the Bible? Show some respect.
Show some respect.
Show some respect.
Have you read this book?
For people.
Have you read this book?
There are over a billion people.
There are 100 verses in this book that incite violence and murder against us.
Show some damn respect for people's religious beliefs, right?
I should show some respect for a book that incites murder against me.
Put it down.
And calls me an animal. No, I won't put it down. Sir William Gladstone held this book above his head in Parliament, and he said there will never be peace on this earth so long as we have this book. It's a violent and cursed book. Was Sir William Gladstone, who we have statues across our capital city, was he a bigot or an Islamist?
You are stirring up hatred. You are abusing people's religion. You're abusing their faith, and you're being a complete disgrace.
What do you know about the Prophet Muhammad? We've established nothing. You are ignorant.
I know that you're deliberately insulting
What do you know about the Prophet? How am I insulting people?
Who have deeply held religious beliefs.
And
you flouncing the Quran around in your hand in that disgraceful manner is outrageous.
This book is the reason we're in such a mess.
No.
That's a reality.
No, we're in this mess because people take Islam, they are terrorists, and they abuse the nature of Islam and the wording of Islam, and they perpetrate evil, and it is completely wrong. For you to try and claim that the vast majority of Muslims, who are decent, law-abiding people, to try and abuse and mock their faith and their holy book is an outrage.
Their holy book. When you talk, okay, so when the sacred months are passed, slay the non-Muslims wherever you find them and take them captive and besiege them and prepare for them in ambush. Who's slaying who? I'm not inciting hatred. This calls for my death.
You are Islamophobic, Tommy Robinson. You know, I've always liked that term Islamophobia, liked or disliked. I always found it strange. I studied psychology, by the way, in my bachelor's degree. Some people don't know that about me. And we learned about phobias. It's, you know, one of the things in the DSM, which is the book of the various, let's say, psychological diseases or conditions that people have. And a phobia is, the most easy way to describe it, an irrational fear. An irrational fear of something. All right? Irrational. Not rational. Irrational. So, for example, heights is, in a way, not exactly a phobia. It's a rational fear. It's inbuilt to us, evolutionary-wise, because heights are dangerous. If you fall off a high place, you die. That's why it's instinctive that when you stand at the edge of a cliff, you're scared. Your adrenaline starts to pump because you know you're in a dangerous situation. All right? That is a rational fear. Islam, the fear of Islam is a rational fear. It's rational. It's not irrational. When I'm scared of jihadists who surround here Israel, groups like Hamas or Hezbollah, and how they interpret Islam, it's a rational fear. It's not Islamophobic. It's Islamo-fear, not phobic. It's not a phobia. It's very, very real. And yes, some of the issues regarding this are in the Quran, the book that he was holding. Also in the Hadith, which is the interpretations of the Quran. Now, I'm more diplomatic than Tommy Robinson. I don't like provocations. I wouldn't do what he did, me personally. I wouldn't hold up a Quran and say, look, this book, this book, this book. I wouldn't do that. And I did a lot on my channel to try to build bridges between Jews and Muslims. And I've met a lot of great Muslims. And I don't think everything is bad in Islam, God forbid. I'm not saying that. But there is inbuilt into that book and into interpretations extremely, extremely problematic things that are interpreted in a bad way, quite widespread around the world, and all the persecutions that we're seeing of minorities across the Muslim world. And people who are afraid of that are not suffering from a phobia. It's a very, very rational fear. I can tell you here in Israel, we don't have Islamophobia. We have Islamofear. We're scared of it. We're scared of it because it's all around us, and the people say we're kafirs, we're infidels, and that Israel is an abomination, and Israel needs to be destroyed. And they scream Allahu Akbar as they massacre people, as they did on October 7th. We're scared of it. We are legitimately scared of it. And so is Tommy Robinson, because he's had some close-up experience of it in the town that he grew up in Luton, which had, you know, a very active Muslim community that were engaged in this type of rhetoric and attacks against people over there that he had to deal with. So he doesn't have a phobia. He has a very rational fear. And again, I'm not defending everything he says. I'm not defending the style of everything he says. I'm not trying to be too generalizing because I don't want to alienate those, you know, the Muslims who are very moderate and kind people. But those accusations against him of the Islamophobia are simply not fair. And in general, I have followed this man, and yeah, he has his way of going about things. He's not a hater. He's not a hater. He's actually a multiculturalist, meaning he says, he said multiple times that he believes in multiculturalism. He grew up in a multicultural town in Luton, where it was the Islamists versus everyone else in the town. The Caribbeans, you know, St. Lucians, Jamaicans, the Indians, the Poles, the white native British, all of them versus the Islamists who hated them. That's his personal upbringing. And he's also been a big defender, and the Jewish people also in that town. And he's been a steadfast defender of the Jewish people versus the Islamic fundamentalism, which has a special place of hatred for the Jews and for the state of Israel. And he's defended the state of Israel because he understands that we're facing that real fear, not phobia, that he's facing also now in Britain and others are facing in Europe. And he's come here now to Israel in order, at the invitation of a minister here. He's been speaking out in defense of Israel during the last 2 years after the October 7th attack to, you know, come here and also show some of what's going on here in a positive light, which not everyone does when they visit. So you can follow those videos as well and see what the man is really about. I do not think he's a hater. I don't think he's a fascist. I do think he's problematic in some ways, but in the end of the day, it's someone who I do appreciate for speaking out on a very difficult issue and who's paid a very heavy personal price for speaking out on that issue. And that's something that is worth noting for a lot of people in today's societies on certain issues that you can't speak. When you pay a heavy personal price and you keep doing it, like a heavy personal price going to prison, death threats, defamation suits, God knows what else, then when someone sticks to the message, you got to appreciate him for doing that. All right, folks, that's all for now. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.